breakout presentation tonight is by Tyshawn Ross called Got Water.
Thank you for being here this evening. I'm a little nervous, but my nerves will probably leave soon. Well, anyways, this is me when I was about 2 or 3 years old. A little young, innocent little bad thing. And now, 15 years later, about to graduate. And we all know that this is a time where, we're ready to hit the beach and in our new swimsuits and new sunglasses and towels and enjoy summer after graduation. And of course, Valente Beach, Six Flags, Schlitterbahn, everybody plans for those big trips, even going to the lake and going tubing and skiing. I see someone excited back there. So, and again, also, you plan on going to your local swimming pools and just hanging out with family and friends. But what if you were, just walking up to the gate and you had your cooler with your drinks, not alcoholic beverages, just Kool-Aid jammers or something, and and your suntan lotion in one hand, and you were hit with a sign like this. Sorry, we're closed due to water restrictions. What? I would be kind of confused too. But when we first created this, had to come up with the project, it's about October, and we were currently going through a drought. And the drought was so severe that we were in some major water restriction. I think we were about stage 3 and stage 4 at the time. So if you think about it, this is when you have to use your critical thinking skills. You're like, well, what do you mean a water restriction and we're closed? Like, it's the middle of the summer, there's plenty of water everywhere. I see water in the pool, why is it closed? Well, this is the U.S. Drought Monitor, and I don't even think people know about this, and it's online. And you'll see the dates change from June, it'll go through June all the way to August. And as you can see, Texas, that's us, is like dark brown, red, and really like stands out. But if you look at the chart, it measures the intensity of a drought, and it says D4 drought exceptional. Well, you only want to be exceptional when you have like an essay or something due. That's the only time you want to be exceptional. But when it comes to a drought, it gets severe. And if you look at the rest of the country, it's like they don't exist at this point. And then again, here's September to bring you a closer view of how serious it was. Now, if you don't believe me in saying that we've had plenty of signs, I'll show you a past news report over the summer.
Well, from Northern California to Central Texas, and boy, oh boy, is it dry. How dry? Take a look at this. This is Lake Travis. Would you look at these pictures? Lake Travis is near Austin, and it's a massive reservoir on the Colorado River. But after this summer's excessive heat and a 2-year drought, this is all that's left. It's really not so massive anymore. We are told the water level is now at its lowest level in 46 years. All the public boat ramps are closed. Low water levels are exposing land masses that they call sometimes islands, and other debris is posing a hazard to the boaters. You can see why.
So, just to kind of recap and to show you that there were actual news reports out there. Now, with that, knowing that information, in my future career I want to do something with engineering, most likely civil and environmental. So, I was wondering, what could I do? What kind of project can I make out of this? Because it was a big issue to me. It was hot, I was getting darker, and I didn't like that. So I wanted to bring awareness to the situation. I don't want to tell you how to live your life. I just want to tell you what's the obvious. It's funny how we know everything about breast cancer and leukemia and HIV awareness, but we don't know about our own living conditions. So with that, I was really thinking hard. I said, well, what can I do to be creative and attract everybody? It doesn't have to necessarily be a specific age group or a gender or anything like that. Anybody could watch it. So I came up with a documentary idea. I said, well, that way I can explain why it happened, what's going on, and the future effects. I'm a really creative person like that, so I wanted to create something that I would like and I would want other people to watch. So with the documentary idea, I was like, well, all right, this is before Hunger Games came out. I wanted to create an awesome like trailer, because every time you see a movie, you're like, oh, they played the clip and it looks so good, I want to watch it now. And I was like, okay, I can do that, you know, trailer, a minute, boom, done. You know, that could be like my project. And this is what I came up with.
Firefighters trying to battle against the bathroom.
This is Lake Travis. We get an almost $19 increase.
No good way of predicting when they will end.
Yeah, it's all that's by me. I felt really important. But so yeah, that's what I came up with, and I said, okay, well this is a good start. I was like, okay, I can start working on my documentary. And then I was like, oh no, no I can't. I cannot make a documentary off news reports and like one resource that I reached out to. So that's when it got real. The class like really hit me, and my teachers were like, you gotta start finding some people. You have to find your mentor. You have to contact people, professionals who can give you the information, and people will believe you if I were to present it. So we call this like the stalking cycle. I had to do a lot of research. I had to search from people's phone numbers, and I had to leave emails and call. It was just like this big web of things going on. Of course, not everybody responded, and not everybody replied back to my emails. I couldn't get sad or anything. I just have to keep going, perseverance, like Desert said. So I finally was able to contact some people, and I actually ran into my mentor, John Williams. He's an LCRA representative, and LCRA is Lower Colorado River Authority, and they basically control our water source. They control all the dams here in Austin. And I'm going to play a video for you. He kind of goes back into the history like I wanted to do for my documentary, and explains just a quick recap of what his history was about.
One thing about droughts is that there's really no good way of predicting when they will end. Mm-hmm. And for example, our Drought Record, which we use as a pattern or as a baseline, mm-hmm. to say this is how much water we can reasonably count on, mm-hmm. in terms of managing all the demands for water. Mm-hmm. And that gives us kind of a beginning baseline on what we can depend upon in river system to provide folks. That Drought Record lasted the better part of a decade.
So, as you just heard, the drought that they refer back to for research was about a decade long. That is a long time. It's very hot and dry, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't really like the summertime. Just imagine 10 years of it. So that led me to a little bit more research. I was kind of wondering where to take this, because with a drought you can go to FEMA and the whole Bastrop fire, or you could talk about, you know, the causes of it and how, you know, the environment works. But I wanted to figure out what could I research to gather someone's attention, to draw their attention in. So he referred me over to a lady named Miss Julie, and she works at the Texas Comptroller's office. She's done an article about the Texas drought just this past year. But what stood out to me was this information. On the left is Amarillo, Del Rio, El Paso, Lubbock, Midland / Odessa. Those are cities in Texas. And the chart is comparing the rainfall, which kind of is a big factor in a drought. But what shocked me was who we were being compared to.